Thanks for pressing play on another Pay Me No Mind sports and entertainment video. My name is Wood. Yes, man, I get to be a homer for not even a homer, but I have a team that is actually winning and capable of winning the title in the biggest prize in whatever league or organization that it's in the Los Angeles Dodgers. Now, quickly, I just been loving the Dodgers since I was a kid because I actually played that. The only year I played baseball, I played for a team that was the Dodgers, and at that time, Pedro Guerrero and Fernando Valenzuela, I believe, and maybe even Kirk Gibson was on that squad. So it's been a team that I've always been fond of. But anyway, I made a video a couple days ago about LeBron James demanding his respect, despite the fact a lot of the NBA is set up for him to succeed, versus someone like another player, not in basketball but in baseball, such as Clayton Kershaw, where he's dominant at his position historically, but the game is just not set up for him to succeed. So he's about 100 games plus. He's about plus 100 games, wins, losses in the regular season. But I think last night's win in Game 1 of the World Series just moved him to 500, I think, for the postseason. He also, with his 8 strikeouts, moved to second in postseason strikeouts under another guy that I'm very fond of, is Justin Verlander. But anyway, man, it was just good to see the cat get off the schneid. A lot of times when he's pitched in the postseason, the Dodgers' bats were quiet as hell. And then the other times, he had a disastrous night. I told you in that other video, he gains about 2 runs in ERA, in the postseason. It was a different story last night. He only gave up 1 run, a home run, to a cat named Kiermaier or something. I'm not that familiar with the Rays. But great performance, man. 78 pitches, 6 innings. Took care of the last 17 of 18 batters that he faced. Only gave up 2 hits, 1 walk. And just, I think, allowed them. And I had a good feeling once they got through that Game 7 that he would respond and carry on with that momentum. And so they get the win 8-3. Mookie Betts, excellent game, kind of old school game, stealing bases. I think he stole second and third. I'm sorry, first. Got a home run, another hit. Bellinger, hero from Game 7. He got a home run that kind of got things started in the 3rd inning, maybe. So it was a phenomenal game, man. I like Justin Turner, Bellinger, Seager's been hot. So yeah, man, I thought it was an excellent Game 7, man, and I could finally watch a team that I root for win. That's always great. I've mentioned it before. That's why I'm a big fan of boxing, because I can just move around to different fighters. I'm not locked in to these teams that it takes 3-5 years to rebuild and whatnot. So we'll see, man. Game 2 is up next, and things will get interesting. I think they didn't let Kershaw come out and pitch the 7th inning. He's really giving up a lot of hits, a lot of runs going into the 7th inning and getting touched up. So with the offense responding, it allowed them to take him on out and get into their bullpen and secure the win. Hey, so what I wanted to come back on, man, and this is probably my last discussion on Saturdays, this past Saturday's Teofimo Lopez and Lomachenko fight. The TV numbers came in, and I was ecstatic, man. I really wanted boxing to succeed and do well and have something positive that can't be torn apart in any way. It's not controversial or anything, but the numbers were excellent. I guess it peaked at 2.8 2.89 million viewers. I told you one guy, Randy Gordon, on Sirius XM's Fight Nation at the fights. He was predicting 4 million. I thought that was way too high. I was thinking 2.5 million. So for it to hit the 2.89 million viewers, I thought was excellent. It averaged 2.7. It was like a 5 or 6 hour telecast. I know the first half of the fight might not have been that appealing to casual fans or people who just kind of showed up. But it is what it is. I think the second half of the fight was pretty exciting. So and coming out of that, I called into the Rope-A-Dope radio podcast yesterday. Kind of said something very complicated that, probably somebody was like, he doesn't know what the hell he's talking about. But I found my movie reference that explains what I was trying to say. And this fight helped to determine that Teofimo Lopez is the top gun at lightweight. Maybe even a potential top gun at 140. But by that I mean the movie reference is actually Top Gun because boxing we like to do all our analysis and tear fighters apart and dismiss the skills. Someone hasn't fought anybody, he hasn't done this against the right people. And I think that it was a moment in Top Gun itself. They thought before Maverick got to the Top Gun Academy, they might have looked at him like he does all this fancy flying and all this reckless stuff and this unconventional stuff in the airplane. And then when the one instructor, Viper, Michael Ironside, I believe is the actor's name, when he got in the air with him, he was like, oh hell, this kid is good. Because that was in the training simulations or whatever, the instructor pilot, they did one-on-one, fighting in the air with the planes and whatnot. And so, like I said, Ironside was dealing with him in the air like, oh damn, it ain't all sizzle. This dude is nice with this. And I think that's what it was with Vasily Lomachenko to a degree. He got in there and everything that he wanted to do. He probably, you did that against Richard Comey. You did that against Diego Magdaleno. You did that against Mason Menard. You did that against William Silva. You had all this highlight stuff with them, but now you stepping up to me and I'm the boss. But he got in there and was like, doing all his little stuff and wasn't getting nowhere. And then when he did go to striking, he got touched, felt his power, and was like, oh yes, this kid is nice. And I think that's just kind of what it was through the first 6-7 rounds. So anyway, that was my analogy. Top Gun, Viper against Maverick. Maverick is Tom Cruise. I'm excited about this weekend. I know the momentum won't follow along here. Oh, one last note on that. I'm not trying to be completely dismissive of a fight between Teofimo Lopez and Devin Haney. It should happen. I would love for it to happen. And there is some precedence. ESPN and Top Rank actually sent Jose Ramirez, the 140-pound champion, when he had just the WBC. They sent him over to the DAZN to face Maurice Hooker, who had the WBO title for a unification bout, and they did that on DAZN. Ramirez stopped Maurice Hooker in 5 or 6 rounds or something, 3 or 4 rounds. Got him out of there, became unified champion, left with the belt, got the bag. Top Rank probably got some money to send him over there. So it was cool. Only thing here, though, now that you have this dude who just did this 2.9 number, youngest to ever do it, undisputed champion, you're probably not going to send him to another platform to do anything. It could be a chance to slow down a little bit, keep him at 135, let him fight a fighter who it's a very winnable fight for him. I would probably favor him a little bit at this point. But it's a chance to do that, actually complete becoming undisputed champion without an asterisk, with that WBC franchise belt versus the WBC title. That this really confusing for people that don't care about this stuff. But Devin Haney actually has the legitimate belt that's always been there. You know, he has it, but he didn't beat Vasily Lomachenko to get it. Now I got to. So anyway, it would make a lot of sense. It would be a great fight. And like I said, it could buy ESPN a little bit of time. They could get that same money that they got for sending Ramirez over there. It's doable. But I just, like I said, with everything that they've accomplished and the way that they've built him up and what he is at this point, and the fact that DAZN might not even be spending that kind of money anymore based on them being tied up in a lawsuit with their one of their flagship fighters in Canelo Alvarez, that might not be an option right now. So that's that. Lastly, like I said, man, I don't know if this the momentum could carry over to this weekend for boxing. It's not as accessible. Matter of fact, both of the fights are behind paywalls. Friday night, I'm a big fan of Friday night boxing. It's actually a pretty good card down in Mexico. This will be on DAZN starting at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Juan Francisco Estrada against Carlos Cuadras, a rematch. Juan Estrada is like my number 7 on my pound for pound list. Phenomenal fighter. That's at super flyweight, 115 pounds. But he's a phenomenal fighter. And Cuadras has had some big nights in the past. So that's a good fight. Chocolatito is also on there. Former pound for pound king before running into some trouble. He's fighting Israel Gonzalez. Then you have the little monster, the little terror out of Mexico, Julio Cesar Martinez against Moises Calleros. That's for the WBC flyweight title, 115. And then you got a host of the youngsters that DAZN has been working with. Austin Ammo Williams, Diego Pacheco, and then Otha Jones III out of Toledo, Ohio, down there fighting in Mexico. This is taking place in Mexico City. So I think that's going to be a great card, a good card. Great for right now. 2 world champions, and it could be a preview of a fight between Estrada and Gonzalez. With Gonzalez having the WBA title and Estrada having the WBC. So there's some, they're building towards something, possibly. And then Saturday night on Showtime. This is actually a great card too. This is a great card. Well, the main event, I'm not a big Sergey Lipinets fan, but he's trying, and it's at welterweight. But his new opponent, he was supposed to fight a cat named Quadrillo Abdul-Kakarov. He's had visa issues the past month, and they moved it back. This fight was supposed to be held on the 10th. Now it's back here on the 24th and whatever, on the 24th. But now they have Custio Clayton from, I believe he's Canadian. But I really want to see more of this dude, and this is a great stage to see, because he's like 30, he might be 33, 34 years old. So, like, hell, if he did good right here, he could even be a possible Terrence Crawford dance partner who needs somebody. But I think Clayton is pretty decent, man. He's a pretty big welterweight, too. I think it's a more interesting fight than Quadrillo Abdul-Kakarov. And also on here, 2 excellent step-up fights for some prospects in Mayweather Promotions fighters. Xavier Martinez is a really hot super featherweight, 130-pounder, going against Claudio Marrero, who's a good veteran. That should be a good test to see exactly what Xavier Martinez is. And then you also have, out of B More, I got an interview with him down on the playlist from a couple of weeks ago. Malik Iceman Hawkins, he's fighting Subriel Matias. This is a great opportunity for Malik, because Matias is a top 15. He might be number 9 in the IBF right now at super lightweight, 140 pounds. So that's a great 3 fights in my opinion. This Friday and Saturday night action. Check all that out. Check the interview out with Malik Hawkins. He's been on quite a bit of stuff since I talked to him. Matias was involved with the fight in D.C. where Maxim Dadashev passed away afterwards. That was like a year and a half ago or something. So he's had one or two more fights since that incident, that horrific incident. But it's a chance for Malik. So, I had an article over on roundbyroundboxing.com where I actually I talked about the next a hot set of 5 at super lightweight, 140 pounds. And Malik Hawkins is one of those guys. This could prove that he is in fact one to watch at 140 pounds. We know he had some issues in his last fight. He had off to a little bit of a slow start against, I think the cat's name was Price maybe. And then as soon as Malik came on, the guy suffered a lower leg injury. And so he didn't really kind of get to prove himself that he had solved with the early success of what that guy was doing. We talked about it in the interview. So either check out the roundbyroundboxing.com article, R.L. Woodson, that's on there. It's some 5 top prospects or 5 young and restless or something corny. And that's it, man. Let me get on out of here. Y'all have a great day. My name is Wood. Bite down boxing, don't let them count you out. Pay me no mind, sports and entertainment. You don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great. Peace.